you might be thinking, I don't know how to choose it. That's why Shai is going to help you out. So we know designers have this. You guys know how to do it. You're on point with your art selection. It's always hung perfectly. You always get the right mix of, you know, colors and shades in the medium. So we want to start with all the rules that you need to buy art properly. And the first point is know your medium.
100%. So here's the thing. The most popular types of artwork that people mostly know nowadays are an original piece, a poster, or what's called a giclée. So it's not giclée, and that's what everybody seems to call it. It's not giclée, it's giclée. It's a French word, and basically what that means is print on canvas. So if you look at this piece here, Trace, it's a poster printed on canvas, but do you see how it's kind of flat? I mean, there's no depth to it. So what's great about a giclée is, so this would be almost considered to be poster print on canvas, and then the giclée version of a piece would be this great piece on canvas here, but if you look really closely here, you can see there's some gold leafing in it. There are people who will do raised, almost like resin on it. So what that does is it makes the piece of artwork look a lot more original. You're going to pay for giclée, you usually pay per square inch as you print, and obviously you're going to pay a lot less than an original piece of art. But with all the work that you can do to it and all these add-ons that you can do to it, you can make it look absolutely original, and I will be the first to admit that there are some times behind glass that I can't tell. You can't tell, so you can really save a lot of money that way.
Don't be afraid to take a closer look.
Absolutely, that's really important. So when you're looking at a piece of art, and what do I mean by closer look, the best friend that you're going to have is a magnifying glass. Take it with you to a yes.
You're not going to look crazy?
You might, but you're going to look crazier if you pay for more than what you're actually thinking that you're getting. So, you know, take a magnifying glass with you, and when I say that, if you go up to a piece of art, especially like this, I mean, it's really obvious, but if you go up to a piece that's been behind glass or it's something that you think is worth more, going up with a magnifying glass, you can see pixelation. If you see pixelation and you think you're buying an original piece of art, stand back, run. It's not a real piece, because pixelated art, a pixelated picture will never be an original piece of art. That's a print. The other thing to also know is the signature. So we're not only looking at the signature on the piece of art, and this, by the way, is a serigraph. So what is a serigraph? That's also sometimes people say to me, it's not an original. I see a signature here. A serigraph is almost like a silkscreen print. So it's a print, and it's usually numbered, and the artist does a limited number of them, so it's a lot more valuable than a poster, but it's not as valuable as the original piece itself.
It hasn't been mass-produced, but there's more than one.
100%. And then the thing is, it's not only about the signature that you see here. Now, when you're going in a gallery, don't take the artwork off the wall by yourself, but you can definitely take, for example, here I'm going to pretend, on the back, always look to see what's on the back as well, because they'll oftentimes have a gallery stamp. They'll also have perhaps some more information, and it'll give a little bit more of the history about the piece. So it's not only about the signature that's on the front.
Okay, really good to know there. I love these. Okay, so the artist signature is just one detail to verify. We've talked a bit about signature. Anything more there?
Well, no, so again, the other thing is with the magnifying glass, the one thing that I do want to point out, and in terms of what it is that you're looking at in the piece itself. So if you're looking at a landscape, landscapes are very popular, especially in Canada. The more detail in a landscape, the more you will be paying for the piece. So if there's a lot of detail, yes, you'll be paying more. And in addition to that, if you see animals in the landscape, there is a school of thought that that is even more expensive because it's a lot more detail going into it. So think about the amount of work that's going into it and know what you're paying for.
So, I like that.
Yeah, something to think about.
Think about that when it comes to landscapes. So understanding what you're paying for is an important part of it. You've looked for the signature. You've got your magnifying glass. You don't care what people think. You've looked on the front and the back if you can. You've seen if there's pixelation. Is there anything else?
Yeah, so the other thing is you notice over here that we have this great piece of the girl with the bubble gum.
I love that piece.
Isn't that a lot of fun? And that was in a series. Now, by the way, I do want to say that some of these pieces here are from Art Interiors, so thank you to Art Interiors for them. The thing about portraits or women or men in a piece of art, in your thought or ideas,
my opinion,
in your opinion, what do you think would be more expensive, to have a man or a woman?
Well, I'm going to say a woman.
Well, you would be right.
Yeah.
You would be right.
Okay.
It is. Yes, it's
Is it because there's we're more detailed?
You know, there's more detail, but traditionally, and kind of like the school of thought is that back in the day when a portrait was painted, and if you think of kind of the old school style of portraits, you might see a king, you might see whatever, but when a woman used to sit and get her portrait done, that was oftentimes something that was invested in. It was oftentimes something that was going to be a big, major piece of art within the home. So that kind of idea has really trickled down. Yes, it goes back obviously into the amount of work because, you know, women have, you know, hair and there's makeup perhaps and there's more detail in it. But the idea of having a feminine image in your home is more wanted than having a male one in your home. So listen, I get it.
It makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me too.
Yeah, it's just a value thing.
And then of course the last thing to kind of just tie it all up and all together is framing. Framing is really important. Now framing can cost a lot of money. So know that if you're investing in a good piece of art, it's really important to make sure that the framing kind of coincides with that. And it's more about the glass. So you can have glass with UV protection, you can have art glass. These are all things that add to the overall cost. Something to think about.
Okay, really good. Okay, don't you feel like a pro now?
Yeah.
Go over and buy your art. Good stuff.